What does a bookkeeper need to get your documents ready for funding or when you want to apply for a loan? Which is the same thing, but just it's different terminologies. But at the end of the day, you are asking money. And for that, certain things need to be done. So what do I, as a bookkeeper, do to get your books up to a standard where you can just take all your documents and present it to the bank with confidence? Not that it's a guarantee that you will get the money, but it will give a picture of your money management at a glance. Say, for instance, worst case scenario, you've never had a bookkeeper before, because those are the customers, the clients that I target. You've never had a bookkeeper before. Your business is doing well and now you want to expand, or you have a cash flow problem. So this is how it works. This is my work process. When you come to me, I will request your bank statements, because your bank statements will give me an indication of the scope of work that needs to be done. And also your personal and your business bank statements. Those are the two key and crucial things. Then I'm going to need receipts, any proof of any transaction that you have made. So that is the starting point when you never had a bookkeeper before. And don't think, if you want to pay me 5,000 Rand and think it's a lot of money to prepare your books, don't be cheap. Then go somewhere else. I want to state that very, very clearly. And this is why you will not pay 5,000 Rand for your books. You have two types of fees. The one fee is to get your books ready, to set them up, create accounts and categories. That's the once-off fee. Then you get a monthly retainer where you pay me for the services every month. So very often, clients come to me, or potential clients come to me, and what they have in mind, it's only the monthly fee. You cannot discuss a monthly fee if your books are in a mess. You cannot ask me, so how much am I going to pay per month, if you have no system in place? Before you even get to the monthly fee, your books need to be in order. So the system that I use, and I use QuickBooks accounting. I use the QuickBooks software. It's easy, it's convenient. So the system that I use, remember I said I need your bank statements. So from your bank statements, I then create a chart of accounts. Your chart of accounts will then be the reflection, or your financial statements at the end of the year will come from your chart of accounts. The chart of accounts is where I create your expenses, your income, your assets, your liabilities, your owner equities. Don't worry, if this sounds foreign, in the next video, I will explain to you what these terms mean. For me to set up the chart of accounts, that's step number one, from your bank statements and your receipts. Let's start with the bank statements. So on the chart of accounts, I will then create expenses. Under expenses is what you spend to keep the business running. Under expenses will be your internet expense, your cell phone, your petrol, your anything, your stationery, your office equipment, your printing services, anything that you need to spend money. That falls under expenses. Then your income. How do you make your money? Where does it come from? Most of the times, if all the times, you get your income, actually not most of the times, all of the time, you get the bulk of your income from two things, either products or services or combined. And that is where the problem lies in many cases. To match your income with a customer, you need a client list. Most people who never had a bookkeeper, they don't have a client list. To create that client list, I need a name, surname, contact numbers, and also the business name of your client. Then I need to match the payment on the bank statement. I have to match it with a specific client so that at the end of the year or the end of the month, you can see who is your customer or your client who pays you the most, right? Your suppliers list is where do you source your supplies from? And there's a difference between supplies and expenses, because your suppliers are the people you buy stuff from, right? Also the people that you pay for services that you need in your business. So those lists, it needs to be created, because I want to ask you now where you are. If you are looking for a bookkeeper, do you have a client list? Do you have a supplier list? Do you have an exact record of your income and your expenses? Because if you don't, I need to create those things. Remember those receipts and slips and invoices I spoke about in the beginning? Well, that is why you pay, and that is why it will not be 5,000 Rand a month, because this is the process. You've got two choices. With everything, you have a choice. Choice number one, you can immediately. You then, because remember I said I use QuickBooks, immediately you can download the app and on the go take photos of your receipts on the app, and it will import it instantly. No stress. The other thing you can also do is connect QuickBooks to your bank feed. What this means, I don't have access to your bank feed, I don't have access to your bank account, but I only have access to the transactions. It gets updated regularly. So I cannot go into your account and take money out of your account because, oh, now we are connected. That's not how it works. It's illegal as a bookkeeper. And especially because I don't work in your company, I am a service provider, I cannot have access to your bank account. So now, remember the one option? That's the first option. You download the app, you take pictures of every single invoice and receipt, and then I will get it. You connect your bank feed so that your transactions can be fed in. So I can see that today you swiped like mad. Yesterday you didn't do anything. That shows up on the feed. That's the bank feed. That's the one option. The second option, and this in South Africa is more common than the first one. The second option, you don't use the bank feed. You don't take pictures because you refuse. It's too much work, right? It's your company, but it's too much work for you to get your books in order. So now you come to me with a bag full of receipts of 2 years or 3 years, and you pat yourself on the back because, yay, I've given my receipts. Well, let me explain to you what happens when you come to me with a bag full of receipts. They need to be scanned. First, before we even come to the scanning, they need to be arranged. That's how I work, to make my work easier further down the line. They need to be arranged according to specific dates, months. So which means if you have in July, you have 50 receipts. Those receipts need to be arranged from the 1st of July until the 31st of July. Now they are arranged. How long do you think that's going to take? Then they need to be scanned. How long do you think that is going to take? Then they need to be saved, because you can't just scan things and not know what they are. So each and every single one of those 50 receipts for the month, they need to be saved so that I can know where I must match them. You don't see any of that. You just see your numbers appear in QuickBooks. So now, that is the process. Your bank statements, you email them to me. You don't ask the bank even, you email them to me. You don't use a CSV file, because what a CSV file does, it saves the bank statement in the format that it just can easily be uploaded to the accounting software. But if you email it, they have to be converted to CSV, or I can manually, I capture them? So can you see the difference? The one who uses the bank feed, uses the app. It's less work and that person will pay less. But you who think that as the bookkeeper, I am here to manage your business for you, you will pay for your habit, because at the end of the day, your business is your responsibility. I cannot stay up to date with your books if you don't even send me the stuff on time. When I talk about stuff, if I ask you, send me your receipts every week, and you decide, bugger her, I will send the receipts once a month when I have time, it's gonna cost you. Your behavior will cost you when you get a bookkeeper. If you refuse to do the work, it will cost you. Why do you think you don't want to sort your receipts? Because you don't have the time. What makes you think that I have the time to sort what you don't want to do? Then if you think that I have the time, you're going to pay for the time. So that is what we do as bookkeepers. We take your bank statements and your receipts, and then from there we create the right accounts with the right categories, so that when you get your profit and loss statement, you can see, this is my expenses, this was my income. When you get your balance sheet, you can see, oh, these are my assets, these are again my income and my expenses, this is my profit. But those numbers that you see magically appear in QuickBooks, it comes from you. It comes from your bank statement, your receipts. If you don't send it, it's not going to happen. So what is my ideal client? Someone who sends their documents on time, someone who uses the bank feed, who uses the app to take pictures, who communicates and who pays me on time without being a cheapskate. Stop being cheap, man. Stop being cheap, because you want to apply for funding of thousands or hundreds of thousands of rands, and you want to pay me 5,000 rand to get your books ready. It's not about how much you apply for. It's what you think my services are worth to you. And I will say again, if you come to me with 4 years or 2 years or even 1 year of never having a bookkeeper, but you have been running a business, you were making money, you have transactions going like mad, and you think that you are going to pay me 5,000 rand to prepare your books, I want to state to you now, go and find another bookkeeper who's willing to do all that work I've just mentioned before, and to be paid the peanuts that you think they are worth. But if you appreciate and if you play your part and do what I ask, and then you will see the changes in your business. You'll be able to present those documents with confidence because your things will be in order. I take my job very seriously. I honor the trust that my clients put in me. For me, commitment to your books is everything. But for us to have a good working relationship, you need to play your part. And we can have a discussion about what it is that we expect from each other so that there cannot be any misunderstandings. Communication is key, and so is managing your business in a proper, effective, and efficient way.